Hey, Chris Grove here, back with you with another video. Today, I'm just going to wish everyone a happy 2026. Happy New Year. Here's to 2026. And hopefully we're here to make it great. So, what are some of your New Year's resolutions? I'm sure we all have them. Is it to hit the gym more? Is it to watch our blood pressure? Is it to, you know, drink in moderation? Is it to not drink at all? Is it to maybe take more time off? Vacation more? Travel more? What are your New Year's resolutions? Is it making plans for the future? What are some of those blocks to your New Year's resolutions? Whether they're self-imposed or external. What are those things? For me, it's been an interesting, month. I vowed to make videos at least once a week. And I'd like to make them more often, actually. But I also want to try different things with my channel. I talked about search a couple weeks ago. I still love doing film reviews, still going to do that. But I want to talk about things that are pivotal to people's lives, and things that we're all kind of going through, and how we can communicate better and groove better and vibe better. And we don't have to agree on everything, and that's not the whole point. The point is to just listen, be seen, be heard, and to see and hear each other. So that's what I'm here to promote, for better or worse. Anyway, this year's been a journey. Like I said, I bought a new car, paid off that car within a month, which I've never done before, but I had no credit. So I paid it off because the reason I had no credit is because I paid everything else off, my condo and my car prior to that. And so the last 6 years I've been debt-free, but not taking out any credit. And, finally took out a credit card, and using a credit card like an actual adult at age 52. I'll be 53 in January 12th. So, I share the same birth date as Howard Stern and Rush Limbaugh. Go figure. Anyway, who says that Capricorns can't be diverse? So, yeah. So that's where I'm at. And I'm also just trying to join things. I just joined this movement meditation thing in one of our local parks here in Reno, Nevada. And it's hosted by this lady. I think she looks like she's in her 60s or so, but she's like in really good shape, and she's centered and focused and kind of new agey and kind of hippie dippy, but authentic. And I like her energy. She appeared to me she posts things on nextdoor.com. It's that site where everyone is kind of talking about, well, mainly it's just a way to sort of rat on your neighbors these days, but it's supposed to be a place where neighbors can share information in the community. And hey, this is what's going on. Or there's going to be a garage sale, and this is happening, and like PTA stuff and all that. So that's really what it's for. But it's also seen as like a place to call people out on their bad behavior. Like these kids were throwing rocks to my car, to the parents of the children throwing rocks at my car the other day. Go talk to them or something. Yeah, or you have, to the person that cut me off in traffic the other day, I hope you're satisfied. You almost caused a 6-pile collision. Yeah, you have that kind of stuff happening too. So, hey, at least we're communicating, right? So that's good. But how can we communicate better? And I want to keep going with search. It's sort of a slow process for me because I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I think the next step for me is probably to put together a website. which may or may not take a lot of time depending on what I want to do with it and how I want to make that happen. I'm still sort of thinking out loud on search, but at least I'm thinking, so that's good. But I would like to have a platform where men and women can talk together and converse and really just understand each other. There's a lot of men's groups out there, a lot of women's groups out there. And it's great that people can talk amongst themselves, like, well, there's certain, issues that only men can understand. And, oh, well, there's certain issues that only women can understand. Okay, great. But we're not going to understand each other unless we start talking to each other. So let's talk to each other, shall we? Those are certain things that I would like to promote. And with my channel, there's just a lot of different things I want to do outside of film reviews. I still want to do film reviews, and those are still going to keep coming in. But I also want to have videos like this one, where I'm thinking out loud and aren't really scripted and no notes, really. I'm just kind of flying blind here. But the thoughts are there. I've had the thoughts. I kind of put together something that I wanted to talk about, and this is it. So I want to talk about New Year's resolutions and certain blocks that we have, and whether it is certain behaviors we have that sabotage our goals. For me, I realized that in a lot of ways, drinking too much, which I still do on occasion, is not something I want to continue doing in 2026. A little cocktail, glass of wine with dinner, fine. Anything past that, no bueno. No bueno at all. It doesn't do me any good. It slows me down. I don't feel good the next day. And I'm worthless. I cannot do anything if I'm feeling, well, even slightly hungover. And having more than my allocated amount is self-sabotaging me. So I'm very much aware of that, and that's something that I don't want to do anymore. Hangovers aren't fun. They just are not fun, and no one needs them. So if that's a problem that you have and you can relate to, and you're brave enough to leave in the comments section, please do. Feel free, share your experience. If total abstinence is what you're doing to maintain, great. So far this year, and this is just the first week of this year, knock on wood, I've been doing pretty well. I've been doing great. I've been following my own guidelines. And knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't change. So let's help each other. Let's keep each other accountable. I still want to, I'm good at certain things. Like I commit to my morning workouts, which are important to me. I used to work out after work. And I'm not saying that, oh, look at me, I'm not a slacker anymore. I'm not motivated after work anymore. So I have to work out before work now. If I don't, I'm really not going to want to work out after work. So that's just something that just a little rule that I have for myself now. I have missed a morning workout, and working out in the afternoon or after work is fine, but man, I'm not as motivated. And sometimes in the morning, especially winter time, it's still dark outside at 6 a.m. You don't want to get up and go to the gym or even a home gym like I have and just do that, And I get that. But once you get out of bed, I think it's like, okay, I'm up. I can do this, And especially if you haven't had a whole lot to drink the night before and you're, completely hungover. So another reason to maintain those boundaries with yourself. Anyway, so that's going on in my life. Other blocks, other things I'd like to do in 2026, and this goes out to all the single folks out there. I would like to meet a woman that I have something totally in common with, you know? That would be great. That would be actually pretty awesome. Sometimes it seems better to be alone, especially than being with the wrong person. It's less lonely to be alone than be with the wrong person. I firmly believe that. And as I've mentioned before, I still miss my ex. I miss Tammy. You know, I do. But I'm moving forward. It's also weird that we can't talk. And I look at those relationships like, usually after 5 years, you know, you'd at least be like, hey, you know, how you doing? How's your life going? You know, without any expectations of getting back together or whatever. Just, hey, you all right? How's your life going? Yeah, okay, cool. And just, you know, talk about things. And if it gets deep, then it gets deep. But just just to say hi would be nice. You know, that would be great. I think that in her mind, she probably thinks I have expectations. Yeah, it would be nice to reconcile, wouldn't it? It would be lovely. But if it doesn't work, it's not meant to be, then I don't want to try to shoehorn, you know, a relationship into something that doesn't fit. So that's where I am with that. And I'm being 100% honest on that. I really do mean that. Despite what, you know, a lot of people think or what she thinks or whatever. So that is something that is, I don't know, I'm 100% on. I don't want to just have a relationship with someone that isn't right in any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, it's weird to be ghosted by someone who used to love and adore you. It really is. So that is odd. And, you know, if we weren't together for a little over 9 years, then, and she didn't love and adore me at one time, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, well, I guess, you know, we just kind of met one time and, you know, nothing happened, you know. So I wouldn't care. I don't care about, like, if I meet someone and it doesn't, you know, if we don't, like, have that chemistry right off the bat, there's nothing lost, nothing gained. I mean, it's just whatever, you know, let it go. But, you know, relationships are very hard for me to let go. And I'm a truly nostalgic person. I really am. I reminisce about the good old days in the past a lot, but I'm also trying to look toward the future, which is kind of anxiety inducing, while also trying to live in the present. And I think living in the present is very important, because when you are truly living in the present, you are truly present. You're listening to other people, you're engaged, and it's just a great place to be. So, trying to do that more. So, yeah, these are all things that I would like to do, make changes in my life. What are your changes? What are the changes you want to make in 2026? And there's certain other things I want to talk about relationships. I recently had a kind of a group of people coming over for a movie night. And this was, I say recently, this was back in like September. But there was one gal who was there who we kind of had a little bit of a spark going on, and then kind of nothing happened. And according to another friend of mine, she may have seen some pictures on the wall from, you know, me and my ex or whatnot. And it's not like I have a shrine dedicated to my ex, you know, but yeah, there's still some pictures on my wall. Why? Because that was 9 years out of my life. And some people are like, you should take those down. Why? I mean, do I have to hide my past to appease someone, in the present? Here's my thought process on that. I'm over 50 years old. If I'm meeting another woman who's over 50, I don't expect her to be a virgin. I don't expect her to be, I don't expect to be her first time at the rodeo either. I don't expect her to be like, oh yeah, I've never had any relationship before. You're my one and only. I don't expect that at all. And obviously that's unrealistic. So my whole thing is I think there are a lot of men and women out there that do have a past and they have fond memories of the past. It's okay to have pictures on the wall of your past. I mean, maybe a shrine would be a little much, but just okay, you got a picture of your ex or whatever. That was part of your life. A friend of mine said, well, what would you think if this girl, if you went to her house and she had, pictures on the wall of her ex? I think, wow, she had a relationship before me. That's what I'd think. And guess what? Especially when you're over 50, that's to be expected, and that's totally okay. So that's what I would think. And maybe I'm a little more open-minded on that than other people. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just crazy. I have no idea. But I don't look at that as like, oh yeah, the past. Yeah, so did I. You probably have some feelings about your ex. Yeah, me too. You're also trying to move forward, aren't you? Yes, me too. And that's the point. Are you really stuck in the past? Or are you like, hey, that happened? And fond memories, but I'm also trying to move forward. Even though I might miss certain aspects of this person, I'm still trying to move forward. I think that's important. And when you're getting to know someone, it's okay to talk about those things. It's okay to say, hey, there's certain things about my ex I miss, but I'm really enjoying getting to know you. And I'm really trying to move forward. Where are you with all that? It's an honest place to be. Maybe it's a little too honest. I don't know. Maybe it's a little too vulnerable. But I like it. I like that energy. And I think that we need more of that. So, my 2 cents on that. Lastly, I want to talk about some YouTubers that I actually really like. Some other channels that influence me. And one of the reasons why I put this, I started this channel is sometimes I'm in the mood for really deep content, content that just speaks to me. Whether I'm going through a nostalgic period, or I'm looking at the past, or I'm looking at the future and the present, what to do, and all that stuff. I'm looking for things that call out to me. And a lot of times I find those in certain people, especially certain authentic people out there that are YouTubers. And sometimes I still crave more of that. So I said, well, why don't you just create your own channel and fill in the void? You can still enjoy other people's work and learn something from them because they have way more subscribers than I do and they're monetized. But learn from them. And here's what I've learned. There are a lot of people that get really vulnerable on YouTube. Like, there are people that just break down crying on their channel religiously. And that's fine if it's authentic. I think with some people, they might do it for the views. And they're good at it too. I mean, they're like, and the Oscar goes to this person right here. Because they're really, they're really turning on the acting right now. But there are other people that are really authentic. A couple people that are total polar opposites. First of all, I really like Aaron Doughty's channel. He talks about letting go of certain things and blocks you might have to achieve your goals. And it's great. And he looks like a cross between Jesus and Surfer Joe. He's got the kind of blonde hair. He's kind of longer blonde hair. He just cut it recently, but he's got that kind of hippy dippy vibe. But And he does live events now, and he started in 2017, I think. And he's just a great YouTuber. He's positive. He helps people to let go of blocks in their life to move forward, and he's great. Another one who's total opposite of him is a guy named Raymond, a channel called Raymond Thoughts in Mind. I love Raymond. I think he's great too. Do I agree with everything he says? No. And that's okay. I think he generalizes a little much sometimes, but that, especially when it comes to women, like, all women are superficial these days, generalization kind of thing. But what he's really talking about is his pain. And his pain is that he hasn't been in a relationship in like 10 years. I think he just turned 37, and he finds it difficult. But there's an authenticity to his pain. And, I can feel his pain and also kind of laugh along with him because he's really funny. He's actually really funny. And through his pain, there's humor. And it's real. And that's authentic. And I like that guy. I really like him. He was apparently involved in some sort of feud with a gal named Shelby. It was a channel called I'm Shelby and I Make Stuff, I believe. Anyway, she's like an artist. But she's constantly in a state of depression and self-doubt sometimes too. She can be kind of morose sometimes about her depression, but it seems authentic. Sometimes it seems maybe a little too much woe is me, but she seems authentic. And who the hell am I to judge? It sounds like she's been through a lot, and I respect that, and I respect her channel. So these are just a couple people that I really enjoy watching from time to time because they are vulnerable. They are full-on vulnerable, and they're not afraid to be vulnerable. And a lot of their stuff doesn't seem scripted, really. Aaron might a little bit because he's got to have a platform of what he's going to talk about. Where Raymond he'll just kind of go, and then he might read articles or something, and then it'll set him off. But then sometimes he'll just talk unscripted, off the cuff, and Shelby seems to do the same thing. So anyway, these are just 3 examples of channels that I love just because of the authenticity. So if you like my channel and you'd like to care to like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And remember, life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived, so live it. Catch you next time, and Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Be good.